Hey, hello everybody. Well, I've got a little bit of depression. Yeah, that's right. I'm depressed. I try to be happy and keep everything going on a good note always, I like happiness. Happiness, that's a good thing, right? Right? That's what it's all about, happiness. Good, wholesome happiness. Sharing, fun, loving, but well, it's not a perfect world. We have things that bring us down too. We have to deal with problems. And we have to deal with different little things. But I'll tell you what though, this one is for another reason than a problem. I'm depressed because in a few days I'm going to go back to the USA. That's what I'm depressed about. I'm depressed because I'm leaving the Philippines. And I have dealt with that for years. It never stops. I go home to the US, I am sad and blue, and it takes me forever to get over it. But what it does motivate me to do is get my butt back on the plane and come back over here time and time and time again. It brings to rise the question, which one is really home? Is back there my birthplace home? I have family there, I have property there. Or is it like that old cliche saying, home is where the heart is? It used to be I'd come to the Philippines and I'd go out into these stores and places and out on the streets, and there'd be a certain aroma, a certain smell that aroused my senses, and I remembered so different than back home, right in Texas and out in the country there. And that was always really incensed in me. You'd smell those smells. Everything's different in the stores, in the street, everything. But now, I don't mean this is a bad thing. I've lost that sense of smell here. The smell here now is home. And when I go back home, quote home, at my birthplace in Texas, I don't have that same feeling. I don't have that excitement. Oh, it smells good to be in Texas. It smells good to be in the USA. Now, I love USA and I love Texas. But I think I've made this my home. Now this is the smell of home, not a place I'm visiting. Am I a citizen here? No, I'm just a visitor. I'm married, what do they call that? I'm a Asawa. I'm the same here as my wife is back in the USA. There, she's the immigrant. Here, I'm kind of like I'm the immigrant. So that's the way it is. But I feel home here. I grew up with a very simple life. I grew up around a lot of elder people and old-time farmers from a very simple time in life in this world, and I found a lot of that I had as childhood, I found it here in the Philippines. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy a little bit of city and I enjoy new things and new gadgets. But also when it comes time to just sit down and chill, I like a simple, quiet place. And it doesn't have to be too quiet. I enjoy the sounds of these children out here. I do. I raise this window up here by my desk and I watch these kids play outside and them talk to me through the window and come inside. I want to come in. Okay, come in. Sometimes I'm busy. I'll tell them, not right now. But I enjoy that. And back home in Texas, I don't have that. Just a lot of problems always there, People are so me these days. And I know some of you that's going to watch this are going to be a little offended because maybe you're guilty of it, right? Maybe you're offended because you're guilty, because you know that maybe you have that me attitude. But you other expats, you others that are married to a foreigner or Filipina, you know that me attitude don't go with them. They're a sharing people. You share and you care. So that is something that I don't get back home. Back home, it's about self. Self. I watched this vlogger that he's been in China for years, and he said that that's what's happening in China now. Everything's becoming about me, for my satisfactions today. To hell with everybody for tomorrow. To hell with the next generation. What about me today? So he's seen a decline happening in China. But their leader is also recognizing that problem. And he's once again actually pushing some old type Chinese reforms because of that westernization. They've now cut off the Western TV shows that was getting replayed there. Many different things because they realized that westernization happening in their country is doing damage to their social programs out there, to their social life, to the family life. When I say these things about my home country, I'm not insulting my country. It's always a wake-up call. Yeah, this country here's got problems too. Trust me, it's got problems too. But being family-oriented, forgiving, loving, letting go, that's not a problem they have. Not at all. Of course, they get mad at a relative, but you know what? When it comes time for a family get-together, there's that relative. You might have heard all kinds of nonsense about that relative, and then there it is, the family day, and there's that relative. And then the next time, you don't hear anything anymore because it was let go. It's not forgotten, but it's let go. You don't see that back home much anymore. You know, people really want to harbor, oh, but he did something I didn't like. You know, it didn't fit with my way of thinking. To hell with him, you know. And that's that. On with the next. Me, you know. Don't think about how it's going to affect maybe the next generation. So, what do you do? Well, I'm at a crossroads because parts of me feel like I want to go and change my life and make this the home. But other parts of me tell me that I need to stay there and spend the rest of my life waiting to pass that guard to somebody that's probably just going to dispose it all anyway. Just dispose it. Because there's not that sense of family pride. Somewhere, somehow along the line, we have lost a part of ourselves there. Now, I'm not speaking of a blanket over society, the whole society that way. I'm speaking of a percentage of the society. There's some families out there that still have great unity, that are still changing guards and moving forward, and the next generation is reaping from what the past generation did, and they're planting seeds for their children, their grandchildren to keep leaping forward. That is not just building a strong family and unity. That is not just building a strong nation. That's just being smart. See, it's that grows a nation. That's what grew the U.S. Well, Anyway, I'm just rambling here. So I don't know. When you're watching this, I've probably done edited out 25, 30 different things I had to say. But I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what I like here. Let's talk about what I like here. What I like here is I see a whole lot of happiness. Is it more fun in the Philippines? Hell yes. It's more fun in the Philippines. Couldn't even begin to explain. You got to be here to know it. Is there more family unity in the Philippines? Hell yes, there's more family unity in the Philippines. What else is there? Is there more freedom in the Philippines? I tell you, I believe it's way more free than we in the U.S. are told that we are.